Children make mistakes. Children make mistakes all the time. And we know we can learn from our mistakes because mistakes are teachers. But we've also been in the situation where our kids and our students and our children keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. Well, then what do we do then? I can literally feel my frustration level rising. Some of us may even snap. Some of us even may start to get angry. It's okay. We've all been there before. Those are really intense feelings, and I completely understand, especially if it's your child that you're working with. And the actual truth is that we're not frustrated with them. We're actually frustrated with ourselves of being unable to help or explain it in a way for the child to understand. Side note. But here's another way to look at mistakes that are repeatedly happening. Instead of focusing on the fact that the mistake keeps repeatedly occurring, take a step back and remember that mistakes are actually data. Mistakes are very, very valuable information and data that we can use to help provide support for the child. Because when mistakes are repeatedly happen, I actually think, oh, I'm in luck. How am I lucky? Because now I have the privilege and the ability to look for patterns. Patterns is literally nature's process of efficiency. Addressing patterns rather than individual behaviors is much more effective and efficient. So then how do you find patterns? Well, first of all, you can't get frustrated. You have to remain really neutral and objective. You have to be able to see all the situations for what they are. And let's be real, that can be really challenging when we're so emotionally invested, especially if the child we're working with is our own child. But remember, the mistakes that are happening are not about you as the parent or the adult in the room. It's about the child who keeps thinking that they're going to get a different result if they keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's about a child who needs guidance to redirect how they are thinking and how they're moving about the world. And we want to be able to create a safe space for the child to recognize that a pattern that they are running is not really helpful for them. And better yet, if you create a safe space, you could even have the child recognize their own patterns. And that is pretty epic. Because when a child has learned how to recognize their own patterns, you have taught them the ability to look at their lives objectively without any story or emotional baggage attached to their mistakes. And this is a skill they can take with them anywhere for the rest of their lives. It's easier to start teaching this skill in the setting of a classroom of academic work. For example, if they keep making the same repetitive mistake in a certain math class over and over and over again. If you start using that language then in the classroom, we could bring that language out into the day-to-day life of the child, and then they can start recognizing their own behavior as well and their own patterns. Do I have an example of doing this with one of my students? Yes, I do.
So what did you learn from this teacher this time?
Do not do the same number against itself.
Do you notice a pattern in terms of what you did here? The mistake, the teacher you made here, and the teacher you made here? Do you notice a pattern?
I'm adding the same numbers to their same number.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh? Keep that in mind. Let's try another one, okay?
I could have easily pointed out the pattern that I noticed when it came to Juno's work. Instead, I stayed neutral and guided Juno to notice the pattern for himself. And I kept reminding Juno that mistakes are valuable teachers where we can learn a lot from them because they're actually neutral data points. And I'm able to do this because I'm always thinking long term when it comes to Juno's growth. My priority is not Juno being able to solve this one exact problem. And because he taught this to himself, it's so much more meaningful for him because he made it make sense to himself and his inner world. And this is really how to teach children. We teach children by teaching them on how to teach themselves. Not even just children, but when any human is able to look at their past mistakes or any of their past decisions without any judgment or shame, but just curiosity and openness and a willingness to learn, that's when real growth happens. This ability starts in the classroom, but as you and I know, it goes far beyond that and it transcends the classroom. I get so excited thinking about how much this skill is going to help Juno the rest of his life. So the next time the child you're working with keeps making the same mistakes over and over and over again, take a deep breath and see it as an opportunity for growth. Mistakes aren't the enemy. They're the key to unlocking a deeper level of self-awareness and growth. Let's teach our children and our students on how to embrace them, be able to learn from them, and grow from them. And always keep looking for those patterns. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this message if it resonated with you. Bye.